For quite a period of time after university, like years, I went through what I like to call a just okay phase. Meaning that my life wasn't great, it was just okay. Whether I would wake up feeling down and out, or if I had these sporadic moments throughout a given day where, again, I would feel down and out or bad or just negative, I eventually would start to try and convince myself that things were actually great and that I was actually doing great. In reality, I was trying to close up the cognitive dissonance between my attitude and my behavior. Now, of course, there are numerous reasons to feel great and numerous things to feel grateful for, but usually, like, deep down, you can tell. You can tell when you're not actually doing great, and you can tell when your attempts at convincing yourself that things are going great are not really holding their weight. You see, the thing with feeling great is just that. It's a feeling. It is felt, and if you're convincing and rationalizing doesn't do much in changing that feeling of deep down things are not great, then you need to pay attention to that feeling because it is trying to tell you something. So yeah, my life wasn't great. It was just okay. And this is what I believe is so scary about only just feeling okay. When you just feel okay, you feel good enough to allow your rationale and your inner voice's convincing abilities to tell you that you're not actually struggling, that you're actually doing just fine. The issue is that when you just feel okay, you very well might have inner things to which you're resistant, and the issue is that this resistance is preventing your life from being that much better, than just okay. So yeah, I was feeling just okay. And as a result, my rationale and my inner voice's persuasive abilities were doing their thing. And then, yeah, it got to the point where my rationale basically ran out of material to convince me that I was doing good. And from there, I recognized and acknowledged that things actually weren't good. And yeah, from there, I started to do something about it. One of the tougher, but at the same time most necessary things that I've ever done was in 2016 at age 25 when I made the decision to move home to Toronto for the summer, and with the understanding that I was moving home to deal with my mental health and with whatever it was that I was going to find when I took that proper look inside. I was terrified because it was uncharted territory. I had no idea what I would uncover, what was going on, how to go about uncovering things, what to do once I uncovered things, what uncovering things really even meant. I was hella scared. It was like, oh my god, am I like opening up my own Pandora's box? Whoa. When I moved home, some days were dope and liberating, and I would feel joy And some days I just stayed in bed and slept on and off and cried on and off. That summer was such a fucking journey in terms of delving into myself. And yeah, super happy I did it. Super happy I pushed pause on life for a few months. They say it's more of a North American thing, and yeah, I'm not the one to say, but yeah, we have this tendency here to live these fast-paced, go lives. Social status, in a way now, is partly a function of how busy you are, of how many things like jobs and relationships and coffee dates with friends and Tinder and Bumble dates and side hustles and all that you got going. If you're busy, you're important. And if you're not busy, you can very easily start to feel guilty about not being busy. With such a fast-paced lifestyle, and I was definitely a bit like that, with such a fast-paced lifestyle, it can be pretty hard to take a pause, step back for a bit, and look at your current life and properly assess. I'm sure you guys have all had these types of moments where you kind of just stop and go, like, whoa, where did the last, 2 years go? Taking a pause is hard, and taking a proper pause is even harder. It was definitely hard for me to take a pause at age 25. I definitely felt guilty and even a little insecure that for about 4 months I wouldn't have a job, I wouldn't be working, I wouldn't be in school. I would just be, in Toronto at mom and dad's place. Pushing past that guilt and insecurity and being able to move home, again, was one of the better decisions that I have ever made. You see, working on yourself and learning about yourself and facing things and coming to grips with them and then moving on takes time and it takes energy and it doesn't happen all at once. I like to use this example of how it's more complicated than saying to yourself, okay, so tonight, it's a Tuesday, so tonight after work, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna make some food, put the laundry in the wash, then while I'm waiting for the laundry, I'm just gonna quickly, quickly figure out, all my past issues and, face things I haven't yet faced, and then I'm gonna make, like a solid plan for my new and improved future self, and so basically, just gonna figure it all out. I'm just gonna figure out my life, and then of course, then, I'm gonna take the laundry out the wash and, then throw it in the dryer, and then, I'm gonna go to bed. Gonna do all that on a Tuesday. Figuring out my life on a Tuesday. It doesn't work like that. Figuring things out won't just happen like that. Won't just happen by setting a date and time to do it, like this upcoming Tuesday night after work during laundry. Working on your mental health is an organic process, and you need to give yourself space and time and patience, because it is not a simple thing. Oh, and factor into that life is always changing, and we're always changing, and our mental health too, on top of that, is also changing. even after that summer in Toronto, it's not like I was cured and ready to go and never looking back on mental health struggles and on depression. No, if anything, my experience that summer allowed me to even more properly open myself up to my depression and to even more fully feel it. And it was so necessary to fully feel it, to fully feel the depression and to go through it, to not play rational games and convincing games, and instead to fully go through it and then to be able to come out, on the other side. One of the greatest feelings in my life is the feeling when I think how once upon a short time ago, I was someone who has depression. And now I am someone who had depression. It's in the past. It's the most beautiful thing. So yeah, as always, easier said than done. And also, as always, so worth it to push pause on life if you deep down feel like things are really only just okay, and that they could be a lot better. And yeah, pushing pause on life might also not be the easiest because, unlike me, you might not be fortunate to have the opportunity to move home and deal with things. But if some type of opportunity does present itself, if that opportunity is feasible, and if it really is only just fear and guilt that's holding you back, consider pushing through it and consider pushing pause on life. And don't feel too bad about not currently being at a 9-to-5 job, in school, being busy. Your future 9-to-5 jobs will probably be a lot better if you commit to a pause. Commit to making mental health your 9-to-5 job.